The Eiffel Tower grows taller every single summer, and there's no renovation to blame, just an entire iron structure quietly obeying the laws of physics. By the time we're done, you'll know why one of the most photographed landmarks on Earth is also secretly a giant thermometer. Let's take a closer look. The Eiffel Tower is built almost entirely from puddled iron, and it's over 7,000 tons of it. When metal heats up, its atoms vibrate harder and push each other slightly further apart. Multiply that tiny push across thousands of tons of iron beams, and the whole tower measurably grows. Comparing the coldest days of winter to the hottest days of summer, specialists estimate the tower gains between 12 and 15 centimeters, nearly 6 inches, in height. It's not dramatic to the eye. You could stand at the base and never notice it happening, but instruments have measured it precisely for well over a century. But here's the part almost nobody knows. The sun doesn't heat the whole tower evenly. It heats the south-facing side more than the north-facing side. And when one side of an iron structure expands more than the other, the whole thing tilts ever so slightly away from the sun. On a clear, hot day, the very top of the tower can trace a small circle, drifting several centimeters off-center entirely on its own. So it grows and it leans, but wait, it gets stranger. This exact trick shows up in a monument you'd never expect. Now, the engineer who designed the Eiffel Tower, Gustav Eiffel, designed something else first, the internal iron skeleton of the Statue of Liberty, and he ran into this exact same problem. Copper and iron expand at different rates, so he built a system of flexible iron saddles that let the statue's copper skin float slightly independent of its frame, so the whole thing could breathe with the seasons without tearing itself apart. Want to see this exact same principle in your own kitchen? Next time a metal lid is stuck on a glass jar, run hot water over just the lid for about 30 seconds. Metal expands faster than glass when heated, so the lid expands slightly, just enough to loosen its grip, and it twists right off. You've just used the same physics that moves an entire Parisian landmark to open a jar of pickles. 5 more quick ones before we go. Railway tracks can bend or kink in extreme heat if there isn't enough room for the metal to expand. 2. Long bridges include expansion joints, visible gaps, specifically so the deck can grow in summer without cracking. 3. Power lines sag lower in hot weather because the metal cable itself gets longer. 4. The supersonic Concorde jet actually grew 6 to 10 inches longer mid-flight from air friction heating its aluminum skin. 5. Even the Eiffel Tower's paint job accounts for this. It's repainted roughly every 7 years, partly to protect iron that's constantly expanding and contracting underneath. Every photograph of that tower, then, is a photograph of a slightly different size, and depending on the day it was taken, built in 1889, and it's still responding to its environment every single day in ways you'd never notice just by looking at it.
Sir Reginald Fox, at your service. Now go be curious.